Describe the atmosphere in Buffalo on the sidelines.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome, Dan. Now, I don't know what gloves I was wearing. I was wearing the gloves that let you still be on your cell phone, but evidently those are not like water resistant. So huge mistake by me. My gloves were soaked like the whole second half. So I didn't even wear them. I went like barehanded. I had those like heat pack things trying to warm them back up. I didn't really take the snow into account that much in terms of my attire. Like even that jacket I was wearing, not really like a waterproof jacket, but I survived. The atmosphere was amazing. It felt like I was in a snow globe. I love being on the sideline. I'm just surprised by how the game played out. I mean, you're in Buffalo, it's a home game. They were decent favorites. It's snowing. It felt like the stars were aligned for this great Bills performance, and they got dominated. I mean, the Bengals came in there and just kicked their you know what.
I'm trying to figure out, as much as I want to praise what the Bengals did, and rightfully so, and Joe Burrow, like what are the Bills missing here?
So, a couple thoughts. Number one, they got outcoached. I mean, let's just be clear about this. The Bengals seemingly on both sides of the ball were one step ahead of the Bills. You know, Dan, when Burrow catches the ball like in the shotgun, it feels like 90% of the time he knows where he's throwing it before he even gets it. I mean, he actually reminds me of like Peyton Manning. He really does. Like he is that smart that as soon as he catches it out, out. I mean, he just is that sharp. Whereas Josh Allen, it feels like Josh Allen was catching the ball. I don't know how much of this is coaching or how much of it was the Bengals D coordinator Lou Anarumo fooling Josh Allen. But Josh Allen looked like he was getting the ball. Dan was like in the backyard with his buddies, running around, like trying to find somebody open and then like rifling it in there. It felt like, the Bengals were like playing chess and the Bills were playing checkers. That's number one. Number two, the Bills got beat up front on both sides of the ball. They don't have any real dudes on their D line. And losing Von Miller obviously hurt. But these other guys, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, make a play. Yeah. Somebody on the D line, please, at some point in the game, make a play, especially against a revamped Bengals O-line. Meanwhile, the Bills couldn't really protect or do a great job blocking the Bengals D-line. I mean, in every game, I felt like the team that ran the ball better or was better up front, that's the team that won.
And it felt like, and I know it's recency bias, but Joe Burrow and Josh Allen maybe were right there as the second best quarterback in the NFL. Is that fair to say behind Mahomes?
Yeah, I would have said last year and even most of this year, I would probably have Allen ahead of Burrow. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. Last year in the playoffs, Josh Allen was insane. I think he had like 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, a crazy passer rating, over 10 yards per attempt. He was not that way this postseason. Josh Allen was not locked in like Burrow was yesterday. I don't know how those guys do it, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't like that much snow, but it was enough, Dan. I'm standing there, and it's like hitting my eyes. Like I'm amazed at how well the Bengals in particular were able to throw and catch the ball in those conditions.
Yeah, and, here's Buffalo. They were gifted this home playoff game. You had the conditions there. You had Damar Hamlin in the building. It felt like this is the storybook. This is destiny. The Buffalo Bills are going to go to Kansas City, and this time they're going to win in Kansas City. They're not going to run out of time. They're going to get their opportunity, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. It just felt like there was so much attached to this that it's almost like not only Buffalo Bills fans, but America might have felt a little bit let down with what happened with the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what their fans looked like or sounded like after this game. If it was, because they handled them from start to finish. So it wasn't a surprise ending here, but the atmosphere after that game was what?
They were stunned. They were stunned. I played up there a few years, Dan, so I know a lot of those people. They really did think this was going to be their year. right? Like after what had happened the last couple of years, they thought this was their year. I interviewed Mixon on the field after the game, and it was 27-10. I would say half the Bills fans had left, in the last couple minutes. But what's interesting is half had left. I don't know that I can ever recall leaving a field, I don't know, 5 minutes after the game and seeing that many fans just sitting in their seats, just kind of stunned, just watching the field. Those people live for that, Dan. I mean, Western New York Bills fans, they live for that. And I think, look, I said it on the air. I was surprised they got handled like that. I know you got to think the Bills fans were shocked.